What's going on, YouTube? It's James Schreiber, Fantasy Battle Report. Got another battle report for you today. It's Buckeye Battles, round number 5, 2019. Guys, what is going on? I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is the first time I'm doing a Buckeye Battles round number 5 video that's going to be like less than 50 minutes because I got to get to work in 35 minutes. So that's how fast it's going to be. Not only that, but there's going to be a quick recap at the end because I didn't take pictures for every winner, for every race and all that stuff. So you won't see that coming up. But let's go over this game. And let's go over how I did, let's go over how my army did, and let's go over basically my final thoughts on how Buckeyes was overall. And for those guys who are just tuning in, so the first 3 games I had at Buckeyes, I actually had a really rough time. I actually was at the bottom table coming into round 4, day 2. I kind of climbed myself out of that, but I'm still in the bottom tables. I'm in the dark section of the room because you could tell in these pictures come out really dark. But here's my opponent, Mr. Mark Luffman. He actually, for those of you who are very keen-eyed, his shirt is pretty damn funny. Anyways, we're going to go over what he brought. He brought a Highborn Elf army, a very close combat Highborn Elf army. Now, I have plenty of Highborn Elf experience back in early 9th edition and back in 8th edition just because my friend Dan, who passed away, he used to play Highborn Elves all the goddamn time. If you guys watch my earlier games back at the beginning of T9A, I used to play Dan like every other week or every week. It was just kind of our thing that we did. So I kind of know the army pretty well, actually. And this is something that you'll see in this game. Now, let's go over his army. I did take pictures this time of his army. So right here on the far flank, he has a Fire Phoenix. Over here, he has a commander on an eagle, a giant eagle. This is basically just a War Machine Hunter, more or less. Over here, he has a unit of Sword Bastards. There's like 12 of them. No, it's 14, 15 of them. 14 or 15 of them. Anyways, next to them, he has a block of 20 Spearmen, another block of 10 Sword Bastards, a Repeater Bolt Thrower, a unit of 20 Spearmen, a Repeater Bolt Thrower, another unit of 20 Spearmen, and a unit of Flame Wardens on the other flank. Basically, here's a blurry picture of mine. Like I said, the camera, it's not even the camera, it's actually the lighting in this part of the room is so dark that the camera just acts funny. It doesn't really pick it up. If you guys don't believe me, you can watch one of Gene Phelps from Wargaming from the Balconies games. He had the same complaint. It just kind of happens in the side of the room. It happened to me like maybe 2 years ago. Same thing. So anyways, as you can see how I deployed, let me pull up the picture. Oh, here's my Vanguard. That one came out really clear. Turn 1, Orcs and Goblins, and here you go. So, I believe I dropped everything. We started dropping one piece at a time, and I just decided to drop everything all at once. Seeing where his Phoenix is, I think that I would have deployed everything a little bit differently. But more or less what happened is we're playing secure target. Both targets are in the center of the table. As you can see, there's 2 spots right there. So I basically put it where, A, he's not going to shoot my savages with his bolt throwers. If he does, he has to shoot through the forest. My savages aren't afraid of fighting any of his units one-on-one. It's the flanks that give me an issue. So if I get flanked by any of his other units, his swordmasters or his spearmen, that could really kill the savages. But right now I could just kind of walk up without really any problem. I did take the first turn basically because I saw where he deployed his bolt throwers, and I figured I'm going to go take one turn and just try to nuke the shit out of those bolt throwers. So what I did is I used one of the dogs as a screen for Baxter. Baxter walks up and he's going to just basically pyromancy the hell out of those bolt throwers, as well as Bazooka in the Horde. Bazooka in the Horde, I put him right by the bolt throwers so I could shoot at him. The K-Pax on the hill to control the table on the right side, and my general's up in the middle behind the forest, but basically he could one-shot my general if I don't kill these bolt throwers right now, but I'm going to Doom Diver him, I'm going to shoot him, I'm going to pyro him, hopefully kill him. Left side, Squig's going to hold up against that Phoenix, Squig's going to hold up against that Commander. We'll see how it goes. Magic! I go ahead and I do an Enveloping Embers, hoping that he would stop it. He really didn't stop it. I think he tried to stop it, he just rolled low. But it goes off and it kills off 20 of his spearmen, or 12 of his 20 spearmen, excuse me, 12 of his spearmen. Let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys, sorry. 9. spearman. I'm trying to do the wounds onto his wizard there. His wizard is in that bunker right there. I'm gonna go into pyroclastic flow, and I do blow up one of the bolt throwers, and then that's about it for my magic. Shooting, I'm gonna go ahead and do the doom diver into the other bolt thrower. Does 2 wounds, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use this unit with bazooka and shoot into that bolt thrower and kill that bolt thrower. Nobody panics. It's gonna start off turn 1. Highborn Elves. Highborn Elves turn 1. This guy threw me for a loop right here. He went ahead and he charged turn 1 with the eagle and the phoenix. Now the phoenix needed a 12. Okay? The phoenix needed a 12. His eagle probably like a 10 or 11. And this guy gets them both on turn 1. Look at that. He rolled triple sixes. And oh, I needed a 9 on the right. And a 9. Boom! Gets in. What the Now, I'm not really opposed to this. I did leave my guys close enough in range for my general's leadership bubble. So unless the fucking dice want to roll double sixes again on like the 4th or 5th time this tournament, I'm pretty sure I'll hold steadfast, and I think I actually win the grind on this one. So I'm not too worried about it. It's interesting. We'll see how it goes. But basically, he moves up like so. He's not really scared of moving up. The one thing he didn't want to do is take damage in that lake. But he's going to go ahead and start trying to grab the objective on the right, and his guys in the middle with his wizard are the only units that's sitting back because he kind of got nuked. Magic, he goes ahead and kills a couple of my... I don't even think he... I mean, that was his wizard, yeah. He goes ahead and he kills up a couple of my dogs, doesn't really do much. We're going to go to close combat. Close combat over here, he killed off, look at this, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 squigs. My squigs go back and boom! Kill the fucking phoenix. Fuck that fuck. His commander, I end up doing 2 wounds, and he has like a 1-up or 2-up armor on that commander as well. But I go ahead and I do 2 wounds. I just got some lucky rolls in there, and we're gonna stick like I said, and basically gonna reform into ranks like so. It's gonna start off turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I'm trying to stay far enough away. I'm just gonna continue using my ranged advantage. That's the one thing I have on him, is I do have a lot of bow fire. I do have a lot of small arms fire, and it's a big weakness in his army, especially against the sword bastards. His strongest unit is probably that Phoenix Guard, but that Phoenix Guard is all the way on the wrong flank, so I'm not going to need to worry. I do chaff him, so that way if he does charge into my dogs, the chaff, I can go ahead and hit him with the K-Pack. Again, everybody's just in leadership bubble range, hoping the squigs hold out. I'm going to shoot up some sword bastards. I just want to kill the units of sword bastards and leave my savages ready to charge in when I need to. Magic got a 5 on the flux. Go ahead and I do another enveloping embers, but he stops it this time. Go ahead and I do a scorching salvo and kill 1 flame warden, kill 1 spearman, kill 3 spearmen, kill 2 sword bastards. Go ahead and I try to do, it just looks like shooting my Baxter shots, kills off 1 spearman. Doom diver shoots, kills off 2 sword bastards. The bazooka and the horde shoot, and they end up killing off 4 sword bastards. And then over here he ends up only killing 1 squig with a horrible roll, and 2 squigs, and I end up killing the guy. But it is going to leave me pretty damn close to his sword masters, and I don't think my squigs will live the next turn. So I just rank them up like so, and I'm going to go ahead and take that charge like a champ. It's going to start off turn 2, Highborn Elves. Highborn Elves turn 2, he's going to charge here to get rid of the chaff. He's going to charge here into the squigs, and I really doubt my squigs will live the sword bastards. These sword bastards do try to do a long charge into the bazooka and the horde. I'm going to stand and shoot, and I end up killing 2. And I think he does get in, by the way, on here. I'm pretty sure that's what the dice roll right now is. It's 11. He's going to get in. Over here he gets in. Magic gets a 1 on the flux. Basically, I know he has that one guy, what is it, an Asphalt Scholar, that where they get to have like Oaken Throne and like some other 1 spells. Doesn't really matter. I kind of stopped the spells I needed to stop. Anyways, he gets in here, gets in there, like I said. The 2 guys in the unit of Bazooka and the Horde, if I don't kill them, I'm actually kind of screwed. The good news is my BSB's in the corner. He's not really touching the corner. I'm gonna get the 3 Shady Gets to try to work on him. Hopefully that'll do it. As for here, he does kill the dogs. that, of course. Over here, like I said, my squigs actually end up doing 4 wounds, but he blows up my squigs. Holy shit. Causes a panic on the dogs that are on this side, which was a big mistake on my part. And he's going to go ahead and overrun this way. He does overrun out of my line of sight of my general and my goblins here with bows, but that's fine for me. Over here, he ends up killing 4 of my goblins, but my Shady Gits did kill him, which is just great. And it's going to start off turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. Turn 3, Orcs and Goblins, I'm going to call it the Wog! And I'm going to charge. Now, I charge the K-Pack down the hill into his general's unit, the Wizard. Basically, I wanted to go into the Spearmen. I wanted to go into the Flame Wardens. What happens is I hit the Flame Wardens. I do, just say on average, 14 impact hits, and I do about like 12 wounds of those 14 impact hits. Granted, I'm going to go through his armor, but that ward save, he's going to make about 7 ward saves on average, and then he's going to kill my K-Pack. So I'm just like, you know what, let's get rid of that general's unit. It's weak enough. I'm going to continue shooting into the other guys, and that's basically what I'm going to do. But the other one is I'm going to charge my Savages into the water, into his spear block that got a little too froggy, a little too close, and boom, they get in, and boom, they get in. Sorry for the blurry pictures. General moves on up. I'm like, you know what? They're not too good to get close. And basically everybody else on the right side moved out of his line of sight of his sword bastards. Basically, Baxter's going to fire into those sword bastards, get rid of them. The squad's going to fire into those sword bastards, get rid of them. The Doom Diver, I just moved it a couple inches to the right so I don't get seen by his sword masters. Anyways, Magic got a 7 on the flux. Go ahead and I do a Pyroclastic Flow. Ends up killing off 6 of them. Go ahead and causes a panic, and they start to run away. They don't rally. They end up running off the table in the long run. I believe I just shoot a couple pot shots into them with the squad, but basically they just run off the table. Over here, this Doom Diver is going to shoot into the Flame Wardens, kill off 2 of them. Bazooka and the Horde are going to shoot into the spear block, get 2 of them. Over here, impact hits, boom! Just 3, 6, 7, 8 of them. And basically what's going to end up happening is he loses this combat. He does do a couple wounds into the K-Pack, but he's going to run from the K-Pack. K-Pack's going to chase down his general's unit and capture him. And that is the end of the Wizard. Over here, woo! He goes and he swings. I mean, he spears and elves. He's going to swing first. He's hitting me on 2s, wounding me on 5s. He ends up killing a good chunk of guys, actually. He kills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 savages. 11. But my remaining savages rip apart this fucking unit. Look at this. I left 5 on there. 5 on there. Holy shit. That means I killed, I don't know, 14 or something like that? I think it was 14. Holy shit. He's going to flee. I actually decided to let him run because I figured he has to rally on a decimated number, whatever that's considered, like less than 25% of his unit, so he has to rally on half his leadership. So I just go ahead and I turn around to face the threat, and we'll see how that goes. Turn 3 Highborn Elves. Turn 3 Highborn Elves. He doesn't have any charges, so basically he's just holding on to the objective. I'm holding on to my objective. I figure it's going to be like a 17-point victory, right? Well, he does rally on those guys up there, which are going to be a pain in the ass because I'm going to have to shoot them. But that's all that really happens. Turn 4 Orcs and Goblins. Turn 4 Orcs and Goblins. I walk my BSB out of the unit, mainly to... If his Flame Wardens do get froggy, I could just flee, and I could try to rally with my general and my BSB. But basically, I don't have to take a charge from them. And it keeps my BSB in range. Magic, go ahead and I do a 3 on the flux. Go ahead and I do a Pyro Flow. Kills off a couple of these ladies here. Go ahead and shoot into them. Kill off 1 more. Doom Diver shoots into them. Doom Diver shoots into the unit that rallied. Kills 3. The 1 guy remains. And then the K-Pack starts shooting into the spear block, and they end up killing off a couple of his spears. The other Doom Diver shoots... No, I think that was the same shot. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, it's going to start off the Shy Ambulance. You guys hear the Shy Ambulance in the distance? It's going to get closer in a minute. It's going to probably go... Bam, bam. Every time it hits this intersection, people are just like, don't get it. Oh no, he's fine. He just went by really fast. It's gonna start off, shit, whose turn is this? I think Highborn Elves turn 4. Highborn Elves turn 4. He's gonna charge into my BSB, which I left kind of close. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna stand and shoot. I'm not doing so bad right now. I'm just gonna stand and shoot. And I end up killing off like 2 guys. Charges into the Savages. He fails the rolls on both. I actually got a little scared because this guy does the long charges. He doesn't care. He's gonna go for it. Every single time you give him a charge, I gave him a charge, he's just rolling for it. I'm like, what the fuck? Even if it was like 11s or 12s, he just goes for it. Alright, so he stumbles forward, which leaves me in a better position because off my turn 5, Orcs and Goblins. The K-Pack charges down the hill into the Spearman block. I contemplated charging the Savages. Again, like I said, the Flame Wardens, though, they're kind of annoying me because I don't really want to fight them. And at the same time, I'm just holding on to my leadership points here. Let's start shooting into these guys, kill off one of the Flame Wardens with the squad. Over here, impact hits. I end up killing off, like, I needed to kill one more guy. If he had like 19 left, I did 9 wounds, which isn't that great for the K-Pack usually, but I am missing one member of the K-Pack. But he basically sticks on a steadfast, and he's going to go ahead. Actually, it didn't matter. He's going to stick on a steadfast with 5 guys. So he's going to stick a steadfast, and he does, and he just turns around. Last turn of the game, he decides he's going to charge my general. He is so convinced he's going to charge my general. He's like, I'm going to go for it. Let's go to turn 5. Highborn Elves. This is actually the last turn of the game. He charges it to my general. He needs like an 8 to get in. If he gets in, he just wants to see how this fight goes, and he rolls a 4. We just call the game there. It's a big Orcs and Goblin victory. It's a 20-0. I got the objective. His other guys are in threat. Even if he kills the K-Pack, I got all the counter charges to get into his Highborn, his Flame Wardens, and shoot him apart. He really doesn't have much in defenses anymore. So we call the game there. It was a fun game. It was a good last game. Like I said, I got a 20-0. It actually threw me up. With that included with my paint score and my last round. My last round I got 18 points. I finished in like 34th place. Leaving my Buckeye records pretty. Let me see. I'm gonna go over this really quick because I got like a little bit of time. Yeah. So at this Buckeyes, I had 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. My first Buckeyes ever, I did take 5 wins. Alright. My second Buckeyes, the one that I actually won, I actually had 4 wins and a draw. Okay. So last year Buckeyes is the one that I have a question on. 2, and 1 again. Is that who had it? Oh, I had a 10-10 against Lance. Okay. So I had another 2. Alright, so I have a 13 wins at Buckeyes. Apparently 3 fucking draws. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 losses. That's not a bad record. It's not a bad Buckeye record. 13 wins, 4 losses, 3 draws. I almost have enough draws to beat my losses. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, it's not a bad Buckeye record for 4 Buckeyes. Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad that I caught back up at the end there. Put me in 34th place out of like 90 players, which is a pretty decent spot. You know, it's not necessarily the top 33% because I'm at 34, but it's a lot better than I thought I was going to do because I just really wasn't playing any games. These 5 games, I'm going to be honest with you, these 5 games did to me what Corner Hammer did to me the year before, which just kind of reinvigorate me, makes me want to play. There was a lot of games in here that I think that I could have just done better, played better, and so after this I got home and I actually just started scrapping my list and figuring out what works, what didn't. Speaking of which, let's go over the points on this game here. This is the wrong one. Here we go. Alright, so for Buckeyes, let's see. I got to do this manually. They took first place again. No, they took first place. Sorry, in a second. That's. I'm just doing this really quick while you guys listen to me mumble. That's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Okay, so in 8th place goes to the squad. Dun, 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 dun. They actually didn't do so bad. They did take 6th place at Wicked, and then 8th place in Corner Hammer, but they're the cheapest unit I have besides the damn Chaff, and they did take the objective. So these guys are really good for their point value, I think. I don't undervalue them. They actually do pick wounds at things. Sometimes I might pick wounds and I didn't even take a picture of it, so I'm not even probably getting it an accurate amount of points. But 453 points for Buckeye Battles is not horrible for a unit that's super cheap, the cheapest one in my list. In 7th place was the biggest upset of Buckeye Battles with their freaking 3 games of doing nothing, which was the K-Pack. And I could hear Phil Carl already. I told you so, James. You know what, Phil? Shut the fuck up. Alright. Yeah, so they took 730 points, and it really didn't do much in this one. They took 7th place. Now, like I said, I'm just kind of comparing it to other tournaments. In Wicked, they did take 1st place with 4,800 points, which is a huge difference. It's a 4,100 point difference. In Corner Hammer, they only took 1,300 points, and they took 5th place. So they're kind of hit or miss, exactly like how Phil tells me all the time. They are kind of hit or miss. The Doom Divers ended up taking 6th place, which actually is kind of shocking. It's the highest score. No, it's the highest place they've done in my list, not the highest score. This is actually the lowest score I've gotten out of them. Corner Hammer, they took 1,100 points, and Wicked, they took 1,400 points, almost 1,500 points. But they did score lower than the rest. That this tournament, they actually did better than the K-Pack and the squad. In 5th place, actually we went to Warboss Dread, which is another disappointing match. But you know what? At Corner Hammer, he did roughly the same. So he's basically been playing the leadership bubble. In Wicked, he played more of an attack role, and he took 2,500 points. So there's a big difference in Dread's power level. Dread took 5th place in this tournament, 3rd in Wicked, and 6th in Corner Hammer. In 4th place, went to Bazooka and the Horde. And Bazooka and the Horde is such a freaking solid piece. I love them. 1,700 points. Let's see what they did at Wicked. Wicked, they did the worst. They got 7th place at 1,500 points, which is roughly around the same amount of points. Corner Hammer, they took 3rd place with 2,900 points. So you know what? Currently in my current list, they actually got cut. Bazooka's still there. The Horde is not. So there's a little play around that, but we'll see how that goes. In 3rd place goes to the Squigs. The Squigs actually did great this whole tournament. The only round they didn't do much on was round 1. So they took 2,500 points total. At Wicked, they took 2,100 points, so it's roughly the same. They took 4th place in Wicked, 3rd place here, and then in Corner Hammer they took 4th place. So they've been pretty solid at that 3rd and 4th place slot. 2nd place, which by literally like 22 points, 2nd place went to Baxter. Baxter the Pyromaniac. And he was on a chariot the whole game. Not bad actually for being a chariot pyromancy. You know, there was some YouTube reviewers who were saying, you know, he's so vulnerable on a chariot, but you know what? He only died, I think, like 1 game. So I think he did fine. He did fine for what he's meant for. 2,900 points, 2nd place. At Wicked, he did 1,700 points when he did die, though. He probably would have got more than that. And at Corner Hammer, he took 2,900 points as well at 2nd place. So he's been pretty consistent as like one of my highest damage dealing units. 1st place goes to the Savage Orc, the Foot Clan. Guys, for those of you who don't know, way back when, way back when, in another game in another edition ago, there used to be the move called the Foot of Gork, and basically these guys, when I made the Savages, they worship the foot. That's why they call them the Foot Clan, and that's why there's a lot of Ninja Turtle references in a lot of my videos. Anyways, the Foot Clan here got a 48 points, victory points here. And like I said, they beat Baxter by 22 points, which is not much. The Foot Clan also took 2nd place last tournament at 3,500 points, so they took more points than Wicked. And then at Corner Hammer, they took 1st place with 4,200 points. So they've been very consistent as my main damage dealing block. We're going to see how they do in the next iteration of my list. I'm going to tell you right now, my next iteration of the list, there's quite a few changes. You're going to see it, my ETC list, by the time I get to, excuse me, had a yawn there. By the time I get to Joel Flint's game, that's when you see pretty much the final iteration of my list. I got a game against Joel Flint, and and you'll see more or less exactly what I'm bringing to ETC. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go over really quick the winners here. This is actually the guy who took first place, and not only that, but my own hero at my heart, the guy who took Best General. So Best General and Best Overall went to two of the Juice Crew club mates here, which is Pete Reese on the left and Nick Hugel on the right. Nick Hugel goes by Nick Creep, and Pete Reese goes by Grungy Music. They took first place and Best General. Nick Creep actually would have got a lot higher on the card if he had a better painted army. That's his words, not mine. And I'm just proud of them. They did really good, and I'm just happy to see Juice Crew taking it 2 years, not in a row technically, but 2 years every other year. So next year somebody random's gonna win it, and then the year after somebody from Juice Crew is gonna win. Calling it now. This video is dated. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this video. I enjoyed making it. Like I said, it's going to be a short video. Usually my Buckeyes round 5 is usually 50-something minutes, but I don't have like best of race of every race. So you guys just got this. You got a picture of Grungy Music and the Creep. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it. If you do like it, hit like, share, and subscribe. If you guys want to show further support, you can always go to my Patreon. I leave the link down below. Any dollars appreciated. It helps me get to these ETC matches and other tournaments. Got some projects in the pipeline going on, but the projects won't be done until I get back from ETC. Right now my only focus is ETC. Been playing a shit ton of practice games, been playing a shit ton of practice games, I should say, and I'm just really excited. I got like a week and 2 days before I'm in Budapest, and yeah. Well, Budapest is where my flight goes, and then eventually I get to Novi Sad. For those of you who are like, why is he going to Budapest? It's just a cheaper flight. But I'm going to hang out with Team Montenegro's captain from last year, Alexander Vitolic. And yeah, he's if you guys haven't seen a video with me yet, he gives me the Fanatic with the jalapeno on it. I'm going to hang out with him for a few days before I get to the Novi Sad. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to report videos from you guys, for you guys. I can't wait to get you guys some interviews, because if you guys have any interest in anybody, interviews specifically for anybody at ETC, about their list, about whatever about them, just let me know. I'll try to get it. I'll try to remember what the fuck you guys said, and that's basically how I did the first year. Just kind of just interviewed whoever the hell you guys told me to interview. Anyways, besides that, I will be back soon with more Shyhammer content. Till next time, guys. Peace.